mean, well, when you ask me how I feel about other black women, whether they be, light skin, dark skin, on social media platforms like YouTube and, Facebook, plagiarizing and copying the work that I created back in 1998, well, I'm hurt because, I always tell people, which is the truth, it's the facts. I started the dark skin activism movement back in 1998, and as I progressed, I tried to get other dark skinned women to join me, and they never did. They were saying it was stupid, it didn't make sense. So it's really a slap in the face now to look up and see these women, copying my work and passing it off as theirs on social media platforms and even on TV. It's painful. It doesn't feel good. I feel betrayed and I feel hurt. So yeah, that's.
Okay, y'all, good evening. Good evening. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in tonight. Let me go ahead and get out of that. Y'all know who it is. It is the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, the queen of dark skin, the undisputed queen of dark skin, the woman who brought dark skin to the internet, the woman who brought dark skin to television, the woman who put dark skin on the map, the woman who's been speaking on dark skin consistently since 1998. And right now I'm being plagiarized by a lot of people, but it's all good because I'm gonna keep doing the work of the dark skin activist. Tonight, I want to talk about something that I'm very familiar with, that I understand. And first of all, let me say rest in peace to the brother Stephon Clark. I hope I'm saying his name properly. And I want to say to his family and friends that my heart personally goes out to this young man. And I'm going to do another completely different live on this because I have been asked for my opinion on this as the world's first dark-skinned activist. People wanted to know my particular take on this whole situation. So I'm going to do something separately. Tonight, I only want to talk about Stephon Clark's dark-skinned grandmother, Sequita Thompson. I watched some clips of her speaking about the situation that happened to her grandson being shot down, murdered by the police in Sacramento, and being killed, murdered. I watched those clips and I saw the pain in her eyes. I saw the sadness in her eyes. I saw, of course, the love that she has for her grandson. And, it was just really a sad thing to watch because I've seen this go on for so long as an activist in my community. I told y'all I've been doing the work of dark skin activism since 1998. And I've been a community activist. I started with the Uhuru movement in about 99. So seeing this is nothing new to me because I have saw this type of thing go down. I've saw the protest. I've been a part of the protest. I've been a part of anything you can imagine in regards to dark skin activism, in regards to Black activism, in regards to humanitarian activism before coming on to social media. I want to make that very clear to people. I have been an activist in my community starting out with the Uhuru movement. That's very important. Why am I telling you this? Because it lays the backdrop for me to come on here as a very credible source to speak on issues like this, situations like this that go down. And one of the things that I have noticed, again, seeing this firsthand, when a young Black man gets shot down by the police or attacked by the police, one of the things that I have noticed over and over and over again, and saw this with my own eyes, once again, y'all, I want to be very clear, working in a Black organization. For me, it was the Uhuru movement from about 99 to 2005. I've seen this and experienced it with my own eyes. This is not just for social media. This is not just for YouTube. This is not just for Facebook. This is what I have actually saw. The pattern that I saw is dark-skinned women, and I'm not saying that there weren't any non-dark-skinned women in these movements. Please do not misconstrue my words. And if you do, that's too bad, because I'm telling you what I've seen as a Black activist working inside a Black organization for the rights of all Black people. And this particular organization is the Uhuru Movement. I was there. I started this out years ago, again, before social media. I see a constant pattern of dark-skinned women in the hood, you know, sometimes it's in the upper, or I wouldn't say upper middle class. We don't really have, I don't think we have upper middle class Black neighborhoods in St. Petersburg. I just say middle class neighborhoods. But from the hoods to the middle class Black neighborhoods, I see a pattern of dark-skinned women just like Sequita Thompson. And what I see is the deep love and care that they have for their Black sons, their Black grandsons, their Black nephews, their Black male relatives, no matter what. No matter what. I mean, I've been seeing this for years. I'm actually one of those people. And you know, people came to me on social media and they said, well, you know, Rashida, what do you think about this? And I'm going to say the same thing to y'all, what I said to other people on Facebook that were asking for my commentary. I don't think that any Black man, regardless of who that Black man was dating, I don't think that the police have the right to kill and murder the person. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon because I think it's wrong at the end of the day. And that's from the dark-skinned activist's perspective, but that's also from a humanitarian perspective. It's wrong. And I feel based on what I've seen when I worked in the Uhuru Movement from 99 to 2005, and we dealt with issues. You guys can Google the Uhuru Movement. You know, it's St. Petersburg, NP Dom, Google it. The organization is basically, some people have compared it to the Black Panther Party, because Chairman Omali Yeshitela, he was around in the 60s when, you know, at the height of the Civil Rights Movement. And he founded the Uhuru Movement. He's a very prominent figure in St. Petersburg, and also internationally. He tore down a racist mural in St. Petersburg. And I remember in around 98, 99, I read about what happened where he tore down this mural, and you know, he was going through all types of stuff that he went through, hardships that he went through for doing that, for standing up for Black people. And that's what triggered me. I said, you know what, I got to find out what's going on. And I eventually joined the Uhuru Movement and was in that movement for a long time, working as a case resolution coordinator, working to find pro bono attorneys to represent Black people who had been victims of racism, of darkism, you know, the racism mainly. So, you know, I speak from real, true experience. This is not just me hopping on here because I want to get YouTube views. Folks, I have been a Black community activist in my community for years, way before social media. Back to the point that I make, in those years while I was in the Uhuru Movement, in the cases that I worked on and the people that I worked with, I've seen countless dark-skinned women, no matter what the Black men in their lives did, no matter who they dated, no matter who they married, when something went down with an issue of social injustice, when a Black man was killed and murdered, the Black dark-skinned woman, this is what I saw with my own eyes. I want to say shout out to Connie Burden, because you was one of them people. I want to say shout out to the sister that lived in Jordan Park that I used to work with. I'm not going to say your name because I'm not sure if you want me to say your name, but I worked closely with you. Very, very dark-skinned woman, fought for Black people rights for years. But the dark-skinned woman has been at the forefront. And I'm not sitting here saying that non-dark-skinned women, non-dark-skinned Black women have not been at the forefront also. But what I'm telling you from an insider point of view, actually being a community activist in my community, watching the stuff go down. I lived out in Los Angeles, was out there with some of the members of the Black Panther Party protesting as well. This is nothing new to me. Social media, it did not introduce this to me. I've been doing this. This is why I could tell you what I've seen with my own eyes. I've seen the dark-skinned woman on the front lines. When it go down, the dark-skinned woman is on the front lines. And I know some of you would like for me to sit here and jump on the bandwagon and say, well, and I'm gonna do a separate live on this. Listen to me clearly. I'm not gonna get into detail about that tonight because I'm not gonna be on here for that long. But a lot of you want me to jump on that bandwagon and talk about the darkism in regards to this young man who he dated. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to say it like this. I don't care who the Black man is dating when it comes to them being shot down and murdered by the police. It's wrong. It's wrong. And that's where I stand on that. But I'm going to go into detail about that when I do my other live. I want to stay focused. Sequita Thompson, I watched this beautiful dark-skinned woman do a news conference. You know, she was on several major television stations speaking about what happened to her grandson. And folks, when I tell you, you know, it's just reminiscence of what I have seen over the years from 98 all the way up until right now, you know, with my work as a community activist, what I have seen dark-skinned Black women, they always stick by the side of the Black man. And the way that she spoke about her grandson with such love and with such humility and with such humanness, you know, it just made me reflect on all the dark-skinned women that I've seen in the community, in these movements that continue to stand up and fight for the rights of Black men no matter what. That is what is going on here. And I feel that I, as a dark-skinned Black woman, I respect that and I understand that because I've been in that place. I've been in that place. I'll never forget. There's many instances I've seen where, you know, Black men getting shot down. Tyron Lewis back in '99 in St. Petersburg. That was one of the ones that I was really close to because I was there when the police shot him down and killed him. I was there. I saw it. And of course, with the Uhuru movement, we protested. We did a lot of grassroots things that wound up bringing in, you know, economic development into St. Petersburg to make it better for the Black community. Okay, shout out to the Uhuru movement. Shout out to Chairman Omali Ashitela because I was there. I saw the work. I participated in the work. I was there way before the social media cameras. This is why I said I can do nothing but respect these dark-skinned women out here like the Connie Burtons. And y'all could go. The reason I mention her name because she's a warrior, dark-skinned warrior. I've always admired her. Met her back in '99 in the Uhuru movement. Been fighting for social justice. You know, this woman is like, man, she one of the people that I just have an immense amount of respect for. You know, and when I saw the grandmother of Stephon Clark, Sequita Thompson, crying, she reminds me of the Connie Burtons. You understand what I'm saying? These dark-skinned women that have always defended the Black man at it, whatever. They've always defended y'all. And I think that we as Black people, we have to understand what I think that these dark-skinned women understand. I think that these dark-skinned women understand that the humanity of the Black man, by us being in this country and the way that we came to this country, you know, we didn't come here like other people came, like the immigrants. We came here as slaves. We came here by force. And as such, our humanity has been stripped. As such, so many things have happened to us as a result of slavery. And this has affected and impacted our men in a lot of ways. And our men have made mistakes. And a lot of people say, well, Rashida, you're always defending Black men. Well, it's because I understand the dynamics and the impact of European colonialization and slavery and imperialism, I understand the impact. And so, and with that understanding, I cannot look at my black man, and I say my black man because I do believe that the black man belongs to the black woman and the black woman belongs to the black man. And I'm never going to stop believing that. I cannot sit here and look at the situation in regards to black men being killed and murdered by the police and look at our situation as a people in terms of how we got here, how we got to this point, and say, I'm not going to speak out or support this black man and say this is wrong because of XYZ factor, which I'm going to get into on another live. I can't do that. It's not right. And I see the same thing, even though that's not her articulation of it. Sequita Thompson, that's not her articulation. But what I'm saying is I see the same thing in Sequita Thompson. Y'all got to understand, this is her grandson. This woman loves him. She loves him. I watched, like I said, several of her interviews, and I could see the love that she has for her grandson. I could see the hurt and the pain in her eyes. I could hear it in her voice. You know, she's hurting for him. She's hurting for, you know, his family members, for his children. And we see this type of humanity exhibited by dark-skinned women over and over and over and over again. I've seen it for our black men, no matter what. And that, to me, is the real win, because I feel that we need to understand how psychologically damaged our men are as a result of slavery and its impact. This is the reason why, if you have ever really followed why I started dark skin activism, if you really understand, you know that one of the main reasons why I started the science of dark skin activism way back in 1998, and I've never wavered, and I will not waver. I will not waver. Is to bring the black man back to the black woman in general, and the dark-skinned black woman in particular, in balanced numbers. It's probably the second main reason. So we have to understand, under a system of, and I want to say shout out to the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, because she's one of the black women that really understands this on a psychological and intellectual level. This goddess spent her whole life trying to help repair the relationship between black people, black men and black women, and help us to understand how and why we are in this psychological state that we're in, caused by racism, caused by white supremacy, caused by all of these things. Also, I want to say shout out to Dr. Shahzarat Ali, another person that I just really admire for trying to repair the relationship between the black man. Because what they teach us is that we can't give up on our black men. We cannot give up on our black men. And I see this time and again, especially with the old school dark-skinned sisters, because understand that as a member of the Uhuru movement, when I came in 98, 99, there's a lot of old school dark-skinned sisters in there that's revolutionaries that'll never get their respect, never get their props. That's why I'm shouting you out, Connie Burton, because you the original, baby. I love you. I love you. I would love to see some type of movie on your life. She lives right over there in Tampa. I done been to all kinds of protests over there that she led up. Man, this woman done put in work. Beautiful, dark-skinned, dreadlock sister. Like, she's amazing. Please go on to Facebook and you can find her on there. Her name is Connie Burton. This woman done put in so much work. Dark-skinned sisters, the pattern that I see, because we really have the love and respect and the care for our black men, no matter what, no matter who they go date, no matter what they do. We still come back and we still love on y'all. We still do it. And I'm one of those dark-skinned Black women. And I've been around these type of dark-skinned Black women in the Uhuru movement, in the time that I spent in there. I want people to understand this ain't just about no social media. This for me is my real lived life, for real. Okay? Very important. And there may be some contradictions. Like I felt, one of the things that I felt that was not addressed, which frustrated me, is the dark skin issue was never something that was an issue. It's one of the reasons why I went off and started the dark skin, It's Beautiful campaign, and kept developing the science of dark skin activism, because nobody was dealing with it. Nobody wanted to address it. I know the history of these things because I was there. I was on the ground grassroots level before the lights of YouTube. And I got to keep expressing that, because that's a very important thing. We got to look at the origin story of everything. We can't just act like, oh, this didn't exist before, or YouTube is just putting this stuff on. No, YouTube and social media is just another platform for the real people, the real soldiers out there. My real soldiers out there, like Sister Connie Burton. You the real dark-skinned soldier. You what it is. I respect you, because people like that, dark-skinned women like that, I saw them continuously stand up and fight, no matter what people say, no matter the police coming out there threatening to take us to jail and whatnot, trying to stop our First Amendment rights, our freedom of speech. We just kept going. We was there doing it. You understand? And I see the same beauty and the same love and the same kindness and the same humanness in Sequita Thompson. I see it and I feel it. I feel your pain, because I've seen it happen time and again. I never will forget. I want to say around 2000, I was dating a young man who eventually wound up dating only non-Black women. And it hurt me to my heart. He did a lot of things. Even at the time that we were dating, he cheated on me with non-Black women. Yes, he did. But when his brother was drowned by the police, killed by the police, murdered by the police, because that's what happened in around 2000, I was there doing everything that I could possibly do to protest the injustice that was done. You understand what I'm saying? I was there, still sticking by his side, because at the end of the day, it's wrong to murder and kill these young Black men. At the end of the day, they are still victims of the system. And I know it hurts. It's painful for a lot of us, Black women out there in regards to this whole dating thing. It was painful. I was upset with this guy I was dating at the time. I was in fact, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still salty to this day. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's wrong to murder and gun down these Black men. I'm not going to sit there and co-sign it, because it's wrong. I'm going to keep fighting. This is what I've been fighting for years as a Black activist in my community against injustice like this. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about, how dark-skinned women, what I have seen with my own eyes by being an active participant in the movement, the Uhuru movement in my case, for years. I was in there from 99/98, because I can't remember the exact year, but it was either 99 or 98, all the way up until 2005. And I continuously saw dark-skinned women like Stephon Clark's dark-skinned grandmother, Sequita Thompson, at the helm of the protest movements, the speaking out when it came to any type of injustice, social injustice of the Black man. And me personally, y'all, I'm going to continue to speak out. I'm going to continue to speak out, and I'm not worried about who disagrees with me. I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned with is what is right, what is just. That's what's important. I'm going to go to the comments, look at the comments here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here. I want to say shout out Todd Shaw, Shayla Diamond. I'm trying to get to all y'all names. Jamaican Titan, what's up? Mimi Plastique, Shayla Diamond, Miss Faith Butterfly, Red Face, Natural Beauty 26. I'm trying to get to all of y'all. Let's see. HTHTV3, Reality's Temple, respect to you, my brother. I just want to say I'm sorry that I wasn't able to catch your live today. I went to work last night, overnight, and I was sleeping. That's why, but I'm up right now. Yeah, I want to say shout out to you. I have a lot of respect for Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Please go check him out. I respect and support the brother. And we're going to do something again together. I'm just looking at y'all comments. You're an idiot. That's your name. I'm trying to make sure I shout everybody out because I really am happy that you guys tune in. Let's see. Daryl Phil, I feel. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting and watching. Let's see. Hey, Cheyenne. Shout out to you. Yeah. So, you know, I just had to make sure I come on here and say this because I just think, Red Face, shout out to you. I just don't think that, you know, the dark-skinned woman in history, I don't think we've been on the lines, the soldier lines, like for years. Like I've witnessed this. This is not something that I know my auntie, she'll always tell me, you know, Rashida, I was there in the civil rights movement. I start talking. Deej Talbert, hey, how you doing? Blessings to you. She would say, Rashida, I was in the civil rights movement. You reading about it in books, but I was there. And now I understand why she would say that to me. You understand? Because I could truly say I was in Black empowerment movements. The Uhuru movement was the one that I was in. I was there protesting on the front lines with my brothers and sisters. You understand? Against, like I said, all forms of social injustice against my people. I was there. This is not something that I'm just coming up on YouTube speaking about. I was there as a dark-skinned woman there protesting, fighting, knocking on people's doors. I used to do so much work around it, as well as other dark-skinned women. That's what I saw. I saw a pattern of dark-skinned women in these movements fighting for the brothers no matter what. No matter what they did, we stayed there and we stuck by y'all side and we fight and we fight and we fight and we fight and we fight. And some of you say, well, Rashida, you might say, well, Rashida, the Black man ain't been loyal to us. I understand. I'm a victim of that disloyalty. I just explained to y'all about the guy that I was dating. You know who he is. He probably be watching me. I'm pretty sure you do. That cheated on me and eventually wound up to me, and to me, you left me for non-dark-skinned women. That's what you did. But I was there, even still, when you was cheating, I was there. When police killed your brother, I was there helping you right by your side, sticking by you, doing what I could. You understand? Fighting for social justice for your brother. Because at the end of the day, that's a Black man that came from the Black woman that I love. And we cannot turn our backs on our men. Given our historical situation, we have to understand that there is mental illness there. Pedagogy of the oppressed. We have to understand that those dynamics are at work there. In regards to Black people doing all kinds of stuff to each other that they probably would not have done had we not entered into the situation of slavery, oppression, colonialism, colonization. Under the colonial system, we probably would not have been in this situation. So we have to understand these things. I know it's painful, some of the things that our brothers do. I know, like I just told you, I have been there. I am not just sitting up here talking. I'm talking from actual experience. So when I say to you that I understand and I feel the pain of Stephon Clark's dark-skinned grandmother, Sequita Thompson, I really feel that pain. I really understand. I get it. I understand. I've seen it time and again. And I think that it's only right that we support her. I think that's the right thing to do. I think that's the human thing to do. It makes sense. Let me go to the comments here. I'm just looking at some of y'all comments here. Thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just looking at y'all comments. You know, Michelle Antoinette, I'm looking at some of your comments. You say, I will support any and all Black people who support and uplift both Black men and women. I am not a doormat. I have no respect for anyone who supports self-hating. And you know what? I want to say that I agree with you on that. I agree. But again, what I want us to consider, just think about if you were brought into a situation, let's going back to slavery, and you were stripped of everything, you know, disconnected from your culture, disconnected from your land, your people, your way of life, stripped of everything. And then you come into a situation where you're brutalized, you're demeaned, you're dehumanized. Some Black people, there's reports, they jumped ship and drowned and killed themselves because they didn't want to come to this country and be enslaved. So they felt that death was better. After, you know, hearing the reports of what was really going down in the Americas when the Europeans were bringing the Africans over to the United States or to the Americas to enslave them. They said, I'd rather die. But the ones that survived and lived through all the torture, through all the torment, through all the darkism, through all the hate, just think about that. And then think about the offspring and how that was transmitted down through the offspring, the dysfunctionality. When I think about all these things, I can't blame the victim, if you will. I got to look at the totality of it before I just jump ship on my Black men. I can't. That's the reason why I've never jumped ship on my Black men. I can't do that. As I understand what we have been through as a people, the mental and psychological abuse that slavery has caused. We're working with the mind, the psychology. That's really Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Get that book. It's one of the definitive books of my life, reading Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, again, Dr. Neely Fuller, people like those have helped me to understand dealing with the psychological impact of slavery. So understanding these things, and I think at the roots, a lot of dark-skinned women, I'm going to give y'all another example. I'm not going to tell y'all exactly where I was, but I met this beautiful dark-skinned woman. She was super beautiful. I mean, she was so gorgeous. She had the high cheekbones, straight pointy nose. She was just beautiful. I'm not saying like the flat pudgy nose on cute. Don't get it twisted. Don't come up on here taking shots at me. I'm just telling y'all how she looked. Anyway, I don't care if y'all do take shots. People been taking shots at me forever. It is what it is. Moving right along. I was in this particular place where Black men are being oppressed. And she said some things. She just started, you know how some you be talking, you just standing there and people just walk up to you and start talking. This happens to me all the time. People just walk up and start chit-chat with me. I guess I have a sign on my face that says, come have a discussion with me. Come talk to me. But it's all good though, because I learn a lot from talking to people. She just starts talking and starts saying, you know, well, we have to do X, Y, Z. And if we do this, with our men just doing this, it makes them feel better. It makes them, she was just saying stuff that was basically about words of encouragement and things that we could do to help and encourage our Black men. And I ain't say nothing. I just listened to her talk. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this dark-skinned woman is the epitome of the Black community. This is the glue that's been holding the Black community together. It's been beautiful dark-skinned women like her. And there ain't no shade to the non-dark-skinned Black women. Don't get it twisted. Because I know some wonderful, beautiful, non-dark-skinned Black women that hold it down. So don't come up on here trying to act like I'm not respecting that. Because I told y'all, if y'all listen to my life story about my for real light-skinned best friend, I got people out here copying, trying to rip off my life story. They plagiarizing me all over the internet. The dark-skinned activists, they've been ripping me off since 2015, since the Kendrick Lamar beef. They've been hating. They've been ripping me off, stealing from me, but you're not the dark-skinned activist. It's only one original, Rashida Strober, the queen of dark skin, the woman who brought dark skin to social media, the woman who brought dark skin, put it on the map, the first woman in history to create a movement only around dark skin. Yep, since 1998, you're not me. It's only one original. Get that out the way. But I talked about my light-skinned best friend and her light-skinned mother, who basically, if it wasn't for them taking me off the streets when I was homeless, I would have never went from a GED or homeless on the streets to a master's degree. So don't even come with all that. Anyway, back to this beautiful dark-skinned woman that was just, I mean, she just, when she started talking, she talked in like a low tone of voice. She's talking to me, and I'm just standing there listening. Cause I'm gonna tell you like this, when an older Black woman speaks, I shut up and I listen, because it's about respect. I respect my elders. My mama, she did teach me that much. You're going to respect your elders. You're not going to talk back to them. You're not going to curse at them. You're not going to do none of that. So I wasn't raised like that. I was raised, when you hear an elder speak, you shut up and you listen. And that's what I did. I immediately, it's just, that's what's in me to do. And I'm just standing there listening to her. And she was absolutely right. And the dark-skinned women like her, I'm telling you, the unsung heroines, we are the glue that hold the community together. And that's what I saw when I looked at these clips of Stephon Clark's dark-skinned grandmother, Sequita Thompson, who has unconditional love for her grandson. I could do nothing but respect that. I could do nothing but empathize with her. And I could do nothing but love on her. Because it's real. It's what I know. It's what I've seen as a community activist interacting with my people. It is what I have seen on the front lines, on the protest lines. That's what I've been doing. It's real to me. I understand it. I get it. I get it. I'm going to just looking at the some of y'all say, oh, you don't look at the comments. Thank you, Miss Faith Butterfly. You said, I'm non-dark skinned and I support this message. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm trying to look at some of y'all comments. I'm looking at HTV3, your comment, and you talked about us being separated, our families being separated, selling them off. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. When you think back to that period of history, to where what really happened, how it really went down with the slaves when they came over here. When I think about that, sometimes I don't want to think about it because it's very painful to me. The torture that the Africans went through. When I really sit down and start to reflect on it, it's so powerful. I have to kind of back up and move away from it because it's so real. It's so real to what the impact, what we've been inherited as Black people, as dark-skinned Black people. It's so real to the struggles that we go through. I don't think it'll ever compare, don't get it twisted, to what our ancestors went through with slavery. It'll never compare. That's not what I'm saying. But when I think about what they had to go through, the physical pain and suffering, I could come up on YouTube and talk. I could get up and go do whatever it is I do on a day-to-day basis. I got that choice. I got that freedom to do that. My ancestors did not have that to look for. And then when I think about how they became institutionalized, we talk about some people go to prison, where they become institutionalized to where they think that this is normalcy. This is how it goes. They don't want to do nothing else. Like Harriet Tubman, when she was freeing the slaves, they was telling her, no, the master is good to us. We want to, they had become institutionalized slaves. Institutionalized slaves. And when I think about that right there is just mind-blowing to me. For a human being to feel that I'm accepting this. This is the way it is. I'm just going to accept it. That right there is super painful to me. And my heart goes out to those people. I'm empathetic to them because some people don't got that fight in them. They've been beat down so much that they've lost their fight. And I have empathy for that. I can't necessarily pass judgment on them because I'm not in their psychological shoes. I didn't experience getting sold off to the master, a slave master, or having my children taken away from me. I didn't experience that. So who am I to sit there and judge them? My point goes back to when I look at these dark-skinned women like Sequita Thompson, who some of you say you don't think that, Black women should defend him because of his dating choice. But when I look at dark-skinned women like Sequita Thompson who stick by, and obviously that's her grandson, so she's going to do it by virtue of that, but who stick by these are Black men no matter what, to me, that is expressing their humanity. And that's what it's all about. Their human rights. The police had no right to shoot this young man down and murder him. Doesn't matter who he's dating. They had no right to do it. I mean, this is another young Black man who was killed senselessly for no reason other than being Black. Let me go to the comments. It's a lot of comments on here, y'all. It's a lot of comments on here. Aviator 80, shout out to you. Spirit of Truth, shout out to you. Tassie Lurie, shout out to you. Tassie Lurie, I'm looking at your comment here. You asked the question, why does colorism, and I would call it darkism, but I understand what you mean. Why does colorism / darkism, if you don't mind, seek to show itself in Black men more than Black women? And why are Black women always expected to clean up, to be the cleanup woman for men who had her dark skin? Okay. And, I understand where you're coming from with that. I understand that that's rooted in hurt and pain because, the flip side of the coin is, like you're saying, we talk about or we stand up for Black men, but it's like, why aren't Black men standing up for us with the same vigor and passion that we have? And again, I want to reiterate that I'm a dark-skinned woman that has fought in the community as a community activist from 1998/99 to 2005 for Black men. I've been doing this for years. I've seen it. And I've seen who these Black men have dated. I've been a victim of a black man leaving me for a non-dark-skinned woman, cheating on me. I've been a victim of that. But again, we must understand, we have to ask the question of why. Why are these men exhibiting darkism towards their women? We have to ask that question. And when we start to really look at the question and we start to answer the question, we see that these men are victims. They're victims of slavery and oppression and the brainwashing and the propaganda that has came out of the system of global darkism. They're victims. And we see that through that, they're just exhibiting different characteristics. They're acting out. That's how I see it. So while I'm angry and upset, I have to look at the bigger picture here. I have to see these men as victims and then look at the bigger picture and say, okay, I got to keep working towards a solution. And that's how the science of dark skin activism got started. Because once again, I want to be very clear. One of the main goals of dark skin activism is to bring the black man back to the black woman in general, and to the dark-skinned black woman in particular in balanced numbers. I've never lost sight of that goal. No matter what they do, I've never lost sight of that goal. That is what I fight for because I love black men. That's the way it's supposed to be. When we were in Africa before any invaders came up in there, the natural place for the black man was with the black woman. Now we know that Africa has 1 billion plus people, majority of which are dark skinned. So you can just make the conclusion that who are these black men with? They were with dark skin. And by the way, if y'all hear this anywhere else, called people plagiarizing me, they're ripping off the work of the world's first and only dark skin activist. Y'all know they're getting it from Rashida Strober. Yeah, I gotta say that. Call me arrogant. I don't care. I'm the original world's first dark skin activist. I've been the dark skin activist. I'm gonna be the dark skin activist, and you're gonna respect it. And that's what it is. You're gonna respect the brand of the dark skin activist. Now, like I said, the natural place of the black man was with the dark-skinned woman anyway. And I'm not sitting up here saying y'all need to go watch my debate, which is the first debate ever with a light-skinned woman, dark-skinned woman on darkism. Some would say colorism. Y'all need to go watch that while I break things down even further. But the point that I'm making is that this is a fact. This is indisputable. Y'all can argue with me all you want to, but you'll be arguing with the air because it doesn't make any sense to argue with facts. The black man was happily with his dark-skinned woman before the invaders came into Africa. So darkism, you know, that's a new phenomenon. And I have to understand these things when I look at black men who are darkest. I call them darkest. That's my terminology. Get the book. Y'all can read the dark skin glossary of terms. It's there. So we have to understand these things. And it always has to be about, we talk about reparations. What is at the root of reparations? Repair. Repair. The dark skin activist is about repairing the relationship between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman, the reconciliation between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman. And I've been saying this, those of you that have been really following me, from my Tommy Sotomayor interviews back in 2014 to my lectures in the community that I've been doing for years. If you really following me, you know that it's always been about reparation between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman. Repair, repair. You know that. That's one of the chief tenets of the science of dark skin activism, repairing the relationship between the black, because it's dysfunctional. We can't operate in dysfunctionality. So I hope I answered your question. And with that, I just want to, I'm never going to turn my back on black men. I mean, a lot of people have tried to get me to do that. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but I just want to make that clear. Rashida Strober is not going to turn her back on black men. I'm not going to do that. I'm simply not going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to keep fighting because I want, hey, y'all. Hey, boo. Mama. Yes, my darling. I
want to get out to get some popsicle. I think about popsicle.
Okay, let mommy finish her live, and then we'll think about getting some popsicles. You can say hey to everybody.
Hi.
Okay, so yeah, so my whole thing is this, people. Lauren just walked over here. I want Lauren, when, for example, when she grows up, I want her to be able to grow up and marry a Black man. Okay. So, you know, it's bigger than just me. It's always been about the next generation. This is the reason why, like, I want to go back to my activism, because I need for people to clearly understand that this is just not about me coming up on YouTube talking because I want views. This is not what this is about. Hold on, Lauren. Could you go have a seat and let mommy talk? This is not about me coming up on social media. I've been an activist in my community for years, working with Black children, working with Black people, fighting for social justice in my community. And I chose the route of the Uhuru movement. That's where I was. What are you doing, babe? Don't spray that in the sink. That's where I was from 98/99 to 2005. Okay. So I am for Black men and Black women coming, and I'm not going to ever be removed from that, because I understand the destruction that have taken place in our community. Shout out to Chancellor Williams, the destruction of Black civilization. I understand that, and I'm going to fight to repair it. Yes, shout out to Dr. John Henrik Clark, GBL 2001. Yes, I'm going to fight to repair that, and that is what I see the science of dark skin activism. The science of dark skin activism is a lot of things, but I'm telling you right now, and people have came at me for the longest about this. It's about, I want the Black man back. We are supposed to be together. We are not supposed to be in a constant state of fighting with each other and going at each other's necks. We are not supposed to be contributing to our genocide. I'm not going to support anything that contributes to Black genocide. I do not support it. I'm like a tree that's planted by the water. I can't be moved. When it comes down to that, it's not going to happen on my worst day, because I understand the destruction, and I understand our history before we came over here to the Americas to be forced into chattel slavery. And everything that we are doing right now as African Americans, it is a result of the aftermath of slavery. We're not even in our right minds. We're not in our right minds, people. We're doing things that doesn't make sense. A lot of the things that we say and do is because we are out of our minds. We're out of our minds. So, you know, I want to go back, and I want to repair, and I want to work it out. What that song is, Let's Straighten It Out. Who sang that song, y'all? Let's straighten it out. Shout out to Rosalind. You said you went back to Africa last year. Shout out to you. Somebody's talking about Dr. Joy DeGruy. I hope I'm saying her name right, because I might be messing it up. With the post-traumatic slave syndrome. Shout out to her. Absolutely. I want to straighten it out. I want to work it out. I will never give up on the Black man. And I think it's a lot of dark-skinned women out there that the ones that I've seen, especially from the old school, when I was in the Uhuru movement, that refuse to give up on the Black man. And they inspired me. I am not giving up on the Black male-female relationship. I'm not. I'm one of them Black women that's going to fight for it. And I got a lot of stories to tell y'all about what I have gone through with my Black men. But does that mean that I'm going to say, oh, let me just throw all the Black men out the window? No, I'm going to fight. You got to, at some point, we have to stand up and fight for what we want. We have to fight for what is right. We got to wake up, because what's going to happen is this. If we keep, because there's a lot of us in the community that are doing this, not all of us, but if we keep going against our men, the men keep going up against the women, and the women keep going up against the men, that's dysfunction. Where's the building in that? Where's the nation building in that? It's not there. We can't keep doing that. At some point, we got to say, could you go have a seat, baby girl? I need you to go have a seat. At some point, we got to say, what is the solution? That's where the science of dark skin activism comes in, because that's my solution to the problem. That's Rashida saying, I refuse to give up on my black man. I came from a wonderful dark-skinned black father that I love. He treated me fantastically. I got 5 brothers that I love. Shout out to one of my brothers who finally woke up to what it is, but I ain't gonna stay on that, because I told y'all I could talk on a lot of but I'm gonna keep it on topic. But my point is, I am not going to sit here and give up on my black man because it's popular or because some celebrity is doing it. I follow what is right. I don't follow trends. I don't follow it because it's a celebrity has said so. This has to be based on logic and reason for me. It has to be based on ethics. It has to be based on what is factual. It has to be based on what is right. And we know that if the black man and the black woman was together, the black man and the dark-skinned woman was together prior to the invasions into Africa, they were already naturally together. And as a result of these destructive, dysfunctional invasions, they was torn apart. Then it makes common sense to me for us to fight to bring us back together. That's only logical. That only makes sense. Why would I go out here and say, I don't want you no more, let me go? That don't make no sense. It's illogical. Give me a second. There you go. You're so welcome. So I just choose to keep fighting. I choose to keep fighting. Just looking at some of y'all comments. I want to say shout out to everybody that's here. And once again, I want to say my condolences goes out to the family of Stephon Clark. And I respect his grandmother, Sequita Thompson. I pray to God that they get justice. I pray to God that justice is given for all these black men, black women, Sandra Bland, everybody that have been brutally murdered under this system of oppression. I pray to God for justice, because it's not right. And it's very painful for me. I can only speak for myself. It's very painful to sit back and watch this, to continue to see this go on. It is very painful, because I want for us to be happy. I want for us to be healthy. I want for us to live good. I want for us to be kind to each other. I want to repair. That's what I really want. And I've said this so many times. I guess sometimes people just glance over that because y'all want to hear something. Y'all want to hear the other stuff. Y'all want to hear the whatever. But that's what I want at the end of the day. That's what I'm fighting for. The next generation, Lauren's generation, shouldn't have to go through this. Shouldn't have to live, shouldn't have to suffer from the destructiveness that has been going on way before she was even born. And the generations, they shouldn't have to keep going through this. So this is what I'm fighting for. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I really do. I appreciate y'all for watching. And yeah, my heart just really goes out to this beautiful dark-skinned woman. Just seeing her crying like that on TV. I done seen so many tears over the years. Like, it's just, it's really a sad thing. You know, it's just crazy, man. I mean, it just doesn't seem to want to stop. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if we keep fighting and if we keep agitating, I believe we're going to make progress. I know we will. I've actually seen the progress made between the repair of the relationship of the black man and the black woman, and the black man and the dark-skinned woman. I've seen it. That's why I keep fighting, because I know it works. I know what I'm doing is having an impact. I know it. I've seen the results. I want you guys to look out for my upcoming dark skin activist show. Right now, I'm looking at several cities. I got Atlanta is a possibility. Also, in Texas is a possibility. But the bottom line is, once I solidify a venue in whatever city I'm in, anybody anywhere in the world can watch me pay-per-view live stream. So once I get everything locked in, I want y'all to keep y'all ears open, y'all eyes open. I'm gonna be letting y'all know where I'm at, where y'all could get all the information. I'm gonna have it on all my social media. And once again, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight and listening to what I have to say. Please pray for justice for Stephon Clark, and that God will take care of his family and his mother and all the black men and women, every last one of you, from our ancestors who was murdered, from the Native Americans as well that were slaughtered. Pray for everybody. I pray for justice. I pray for justice, and I pray for peace, and I pray for prosperity, and I pray for an end to darkism. I pray for love. I pray for kindness. I pray for all of these things, and I never will stop fighting for these things. It's the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, since 1998. The queen of dark skin, the woman who brought dark skin to the internet, the woman who brought dark skin to social media, the woman who brought dark skin to TV, the woman who put dark skin on the map, Rashida Strober, the first woman in history to start a movement for only dark skin. And as I end this evening, give me 1 second, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sharing my screen right now with y'all.
I mean, well, when you ask me how I feel about